I had a message come up. It was just an info message. So hello everyone. I don't know if anyone's waiting yet to get in, but cheers everyone. I've got my nice cup of coffee, which I'll drink before I get going because my coffee machine doesn't make it that hot, to be honest with you. And I'm thinking of bringing one in here so that if I did live streaming. Oh, hang on just a sec. That's better. Looks messy, doesn't it, down there? Don't know why. I've got my on-air sign on. Probably making odd lights. But why does that look so messy down there? It's actually a lamp. Could put it on, couldn't I, really? Maybe I will in a sec. Anyway, I'm going to be starting in a sec, but I want to get this out of the way because, like I said, the coffee machine doesn't make it that hot, to be honest, and it cools down very quick. Now, I've got one of those little keep your coffee or tea warm plates while you live stream. Really doesn't to that extent. Now, I've got a feeling that this yarn is going to have quite detrimental effect on me. You can see it's a bit fuzzy. I don't know if you can. It might not be picking it up, but it is there you go. It's a bit of a fuzzy yarn, and also Fluffy, the cat, got rather close to it, and I'm allergic to cats. So I really am in trouble, but I need to get on with this. And so the only way I could actually make sure I do this is to make a feature of making Gary's blanket live stream. So I'm not really going to be like usual with the computer in front of me, seeing all your comments as they come in. I might not see that many, but I have my phone, so I will have a little look now and then because I can see when things do pop up if I'm looking. But yeah, and you have to keep stirring this particular coffee. That's sorry if that's annoying. It's just that it settles a little bit. And now this is I make it with my Dolce Gusto machine, which looks like a little dog, sits on the side, looks like a little pooch begging. And they've now made one that's called oat coffee. It's like oat milk, and it's lovely. It really is. And I actually prefer it to all of the other coffees, and I can't have milk. So even if I use one of the coffees and then put my own whitener in, this is so much better. So as it doesn't get very hot, I'm going to drink it before I do the blanket. And sorry if I have to keep stirring, but it settles, and it's just a thing about this coffee, I guess. So I did see someone come in. Let's find the live stream. I might have to put it on silent because it's probably on loud. Can I find me? There we go. So, right, let's make sure the sound's really down. And hi there, Ellie. Welcome. Don't forget the thummy. So, I'm not sure if you've seen this advertised on my channel, but I'm going to be doing this blanket. Now, this is a blanket that I was making for my partner, Gary. And although it's quite a size already, he wanted it to be really, really big. But because I create for my channel, I never seem to get around to getting it done. And so I had to kind of, the only way I got nagged a few times by various subscribers. And so I thought the only way I'm going to get this absolutely done is to kind of make sure that I do a live stream and get it done. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. So I have to keep looking occasionally to see who's come in. Good morning. Well, it's just nearly 2 o'clock here. Well, no, I suppose almost 1:45. So I guess you're in some far-flung place that's much nicer than here at the moment. Although the sun's shining. Really cold though. It is really, really cold. So yeah, I will get going in a mo when I've finished this coffee. I did bring some water in and a glass, so if I do get a bit thirsty I can have that. And I put the heater on in here for a while, warmed up the room because it was freezing, and I'll get going. Cheers guys. Don't forget the thumbs if you haven't done it already. I hate slurping in front of people, so I can't really wash it down. I do feel, though, that this is getting cold already, believe it or not. It's beautiful. What, the blanket on me? You don't have to butter me up. It's the blanket, I know. But I've been doing this a while, and I do have a tutorial for it, which I did ages ago when I first started making this for him. And I've, you know, well, put it off, and I did a little bit, and then the thing is, it's really chunky yarn, and it's so difficult to work on, especially in the summer months. So for a whole period of time, you can't touch it anyway. It's getting cold quick. You're going to slurp it. I've never done this on live TV before. And if I'm doing a vlog, whatever you call them, I pause it. I can't pause this. So here goes. I'll leave the last bit. Because as I said, it does, it kind of settles. Okay, so I'm making this with Premier Puzzle yarn. And this is the one. For those of you who wanted to know this. It's hard to get in this country. I was sent a ball by Creative Grandma, Glenda, because we did a yarn swap when I first kind of started my YouTube channel and started getting underway. We did a yarn swap, and she sent me a ball of this. There may have been two, can't remember. But I made a blanket, and it didn't really come up very big. I did put this colour in with it, which is, believe it or not, a really dark blue, but it looks black. But it isn't. It's midnight navy kind of blue. And obviously it doesn't really make a great deal of difference. That's not using up much space. So I ended up buying another 2 or 3 packs of this, which I found on Amazon or eBay, I can't remember now. And it cost me a pretty penny, I can tell you. All in all, I reckoned it cost me about £80–90 for the whole amount of the yarn. But never mind, it was for my other half. And this colour is called Enigma. There you go, Enigma. It is really nice. I love the way the blues all kind of change. It's really, really nice. So I made this as a rectangular modern granny, which I call a box granny because they look like squares. So I called it a box granny. That's my name for it. And just want to make sure I'm going to be working on the right side before I get started. And I'm using a 6mm crochet hook. So I'm on this row now. Okay, so if I don't get to see what you're saying, I apologise, but this is the only way that I'm gonna get to do it. And looking at my face, I just realised I forgot to powder it, so I'm all kind of different colours. Oh well, blotchy, never mind. So yeah, I'm not kind of showing you how this blanket works because I already have the tutorials. Now I have a right-handed and a left-handed tutorial for it, and straight away, because I haven't touched this blanket in for a long time, I did it wrong. Oh dear, never mind, I will do it right now. I kind of remembered what I'm doing. So I'm just making the corner. I got a bit carried away with myself, and yeah, so now I'm just going around the box, kind of making these like dark bits in between, like the contrast colour. So how have you all been? What are you up to? Have you been making anything fabulous or doing anything interesting? Last night I went for an MRI. That's about as interesting as my life has got lately, which is not interesting at all. And a very, very horrible experience, because not that thankfully the MRI was a bad experience. The wait was, I got stuck. I was supposed to be, they asked me to get there. I wish I hadn't heated this room up now. I've got this big blanket on me. They asked me to get there for 10 to 6 in the evening. and I would get done at 6:10. Well, there was emergencies and delays, so in the end I didn't get out of there and home till 9:30 at night. Wasn't the best, really. So yeah, not good. Bear with me a sec, I've got a message. Just replying. So don't worry, I'm still here. Still here. Oh, hang on. Hi, Charlotte. And Katrina. Good morning. Be lurking and working. I'm working too. So as my title suggests, it's also a giveaway a day. And this blanket's really hard to kind of work when it's this big. Do you know what I mean? When you get like large projects, they are really difficult. So what that entails, if those of you don't already know, I'm going to have to move the ball. It's just so big. I knew there'd be problems. I knew it. Hang on, I'll be back. Right, move that over that side. Try and keep all the yarn over there and all the blanket over this side. The month of February is my birthday month. And yeah, my birthday month. So I don't have a birthday, I have a month. Like the Queen used to have 2 days. Good morning, Tammy. Welcome. Don't forget the thumbs, guys. And yeah, so I'm going to do a giveaway a day. Now, some of them, I do a giveaway each week anyway, at least one. And some of them will be that size. Like yesterday's one I put up was for a mystery box over on my shop website, which is www.hobbyrocks.co.uk. So that was for one of the mystery boxes on that website. And underneath the video, there's a link, where there will be when it goes to Doodah. There'll be a link to that shop, so you can have a look at them. Or I do ship worldwide, or more or less, where I can sort it out. And that was yesterday's one, but today's going to be a smaller one because I can't do like big ones every day. Just trying to keep up. Making Valentine's Day stitch markers. I'd like to. I mean, I've got you're making Valentine's Day stitch markers. What do they look like? Oh, you see, I have a shop and I'm really trying to get hold of some really nice stitch markers, you know, unusual ones. I've got the kind of normal ones in the shop, and I have ones that look like little balls of yarn. And just recently I ordered some from Tulip to sell, and they were hearts, but they kind of just slip on a knitting needle, so they're not really crochet ones. And Julie sent me a link to buy some little, I think they're just called like little fixins to they're actually kind of like jewelry fixins, so you can make them into stitch markers. So that would be a cool idea. I have looked into that before, looked into buying little charms and those things and making stitch markers, but I've never really got round to it. But I am always on the look for someone who can supply things like stitch markers, or maybe some hand dyed yarn, that sort of thing. I have toyed with the idea of doing it myself, but I really have no time, which is why this blanket kind of suffered, because when you kind of create for your YouTube channel, whether it's you know, making tutorials when you can, and all the other videos that you do, and plus your life, it's really kind of difficult to fit everything in. And so once you start, like with a blanket like this as well, you know, making something this big, you move on to the next project, and then this one kind of falls by the wayside, then you move on to the next project, and again it falls by the wayside. So this is what happened, and I got out of, you know, not doing it. And I said, if I just did a few rows per day, rounds. So it's massive and it's you go around. So if I just did a few a day, it would get done quite quick, wouldn't it? And the only way I can really guarantee that I'm going to do it is to sit here with you guys and do it and make along. I know you can't really see what I'm doing. I was going to put that lamp on, wasn't I? If I can. I don't want to pull everything off. There we go. No, it won't look quite so messy because it'll be a lamp. Oh. I knew this would play on my my chest a little bit because it's fluffy, and then as well the actual cat Fluffy got hold of sitting Wyatt and right, pulled some yarn out. Got to turn the corner. It's going to be a major feat. I thought, you know, just a nice little lap blanket, sit on the sofa, but no, he wanted this gigantic blanket that would probably cover us both while we sit and watch TV. I don't mind really. And as I say, I did buy the yarn ages ago for it. So, oh, let's have a look. Catch up. You're making an advent calendar for Valentine's Day called Countdown to Valentine's Day Stitch Marker Surprise. I'll email you later. Thank you. Hi, Roberta. Good morning. Welcome. Well, good afternoon here, but don't forget the thumbie. I'm getting on with it. Look, I am actually doing said blanket. And, it's a bit difficult. It's so big to actually manoeuvre it. And then you kind of cover up the yarn that you're, you know, working on. Your tail end. Your working end, rather. Well, I do feel bad that I'm looking down rather than looking at you, and that, you know, I'm kind of working, whereas I usually just sort of more involved in the chat and everything. So apart from advent calendar for Valentine's Day, what's everybody else been doing? What are you working on? So Katrina's working and lurking, and I wonder, what are you working on? Can you still hear me? I really like this stitch, actually. I love the way it looks. It kind of goes into a square, and I've got a kind of a little thing that I want to do with it. But like everything, it's getting around to it. And there's quite a few little things that I want to... I keep dropping my stitch because I'm not really... It's such dark yarn. It's hard to see what you're doing. But there's this one particular little project that I've been wanting to do for, well, probably about 2 years. And it's a very small project. It would only take a small amount of time. But there's always so much happening, you know. Hi, Lashira. Welcome. Don't forget the thumbie. If I've missed anybody coming in, then I'm sorry. Hi, Sarah. Working and lurking. Can't remember the last time you caught one of my lives. Got to be a year ago. I don't make that many anymore, but this is going to sort of put paid to that, because if I'm going to get this blanket done, I'm going to do a fair few of working on blanket live streams. I thought while I'm sitting there doing something, you know, taking that big chunk of my day out, I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, couldn't I, and do a live stream. And then everybody can witness the fact that I am actually getting on with this blanket. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I had a bit of a... I hope my hair's not too icky. But I had a bit of a nightmare yesterday. I had an MRI scan, and it got delayed, and I sat in the waiting room with Gary. Poor Gary had to get up for work, and he gets up at 3 something in the morning, and we were just supposed to be there and done by 6:10, so it would have took maybe, you know, 40 to 50 minutes from that moment on. But in the end, I didn't get home till 9:30. That was way past his bedtime when he's working, and he hadn't really... He'd only had lunch. He hadn't eaten dinner or anything, so it was a bit of a nightmare to have anyway, as well, as you all know. Actually working on, but crochet wise, you're working on a retro granny cardigan and a waistcoat for your mum and dad. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Did I say hello to Michelle? I'm not sure if I did. In Kansas. Welcome. Working on this gigantic thing. But it is a bit difficult sitting in a little space like this to try and maneuver it, I have to say. But I will persevere. But the MRI, I'm hoping, is just for no reason whatsoever, because a little while ago, I mean, most of you know that I had cancer and I've been all clear and everything else. But a little while ago, I had a virus. And at the time that I got in touch with my surgeon, because they always said, any problems, don't go to your GP, don't wait, contact us and we'll see you. So I contacted my surgeon and I said, like, I've got this sore, because my cancer was oral on my tongue. And I have 49 lymph nodes removed from my neck and around my head. So because I had this sore, it was grating where my scar tissue on my tongue is, and it was a bit worrying. And I had this headache that wouldn't go. And so he said, okay, well, I don't think it's anything. He had a good look and in my mouth, and he said, I can't see any problems at all. So we'll just do an MRI to be on the safe side with the headache. But then after I saw him, the virus really came out. I ended up on antibiotics. It all cleared up and I've never had another headache since. So I feel like I didn't really need it. But, you know, there's that little nag in the back of your mind thinking, well, I suppose it'd be good to have an MRI and see what's going on in there that you might not see. And when I had it done, the guy afterwards, funnily enough, there was this woman that came out before me and he said to her, when's your next appointment? And she said, and he went, oh, well, make sure you attend your next appointment. And I thought, you know, he seemed quite familiar with her. But then when I came out, he said, when's your next appointment? So I said, March. And he said, oh, really? I said, unless they see something want me to see before then. And he said, oh, okay, well, make sure that you keep your appointment. And I thought, what have you seen? You know, and I thought, maybe don't read too much into it, because he said the same thing to the other woman. Everybody's saying hello to everyone else. I don't think I've missed anything. I don't have my screen in front of me like I usually do, because there's not enough space on the worktop for everything. And one thing I do realise, that I brought everything in I thought I needed. I brought my coffee in, which I've drunk, my hook, my yarn and blanket, and some water, and my spare phone so that I can see what's coming in message wise every now and then. And I realise now I didn't bring any scissors, and I own about 50 pairs of them. And have I got one in here? No. However, I do have a bent knife, so I'm going to try and do it with a bent knife and not kill myself in the process. It was in here for an unboxing the other day and it's still there, so at least I can cut the yarn carefully. So yeah, I'm just babbling away here. I don't know what you're up to. I can't see you. I brought a scrunchie. I don't know if I need to put my hair back. When you look down, it keeps falling forward. So I'll see how I go, but I've got one here just in case I need it. Well, it takes ages to get round this thing now. But, you know, hopefully talking to you guys will make that easier. Hi, Dawn. There's a pair behind me. Is there? Hold on. You see it? It's so good. Well done. I couldn't see them, even in the mirror. Oh, excuse me, guys. Trying to, like... Well, isn't that cool? I do have a pair of scissors. They're not very good ones, but I do have them. That's excellent stuff. Always looking for your scissors. So glad I'm all better. Thank you very much. Oh, God, yeah. You know what? Gary's not very well at the moment. He's got a cough. And I said to him yesterday as we were sitting there in the waiting room and he was coughing, I went, that better be the one I've already had. Because you know what, I really, really don't want another one. And Tyler, I'm going to look after him on Friday, all if all goes well. And he's snotty. And Gemma, not only did she get ill, she's got her throat is practically closed up. So I'm like, oh my God, you know, these viruses that are going around better be the one I just had, because, you know, there's no way I want any of that. Yeah, I've just got over one and that was awful. It was one of the most awful viruses I've ever had in my life. And that wasn't even COVID. I had COVID and it wasn't as bad as that. I've had some bad cases of bronchitis and stuff like that in the past, but that thing that I just got rid of was worse. Absolutely. I cannot tell you, just, I can't stress just how bad that was. And my yarn has travelled, very annoyingly. It's a big ball, does what it wants. I should have a bucket to put it in, really. Bucket doesn't sound very professional, does it? I've not missed anything. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. How much further have I got to get back to the start? 2 more, well, 1.5 sides, I think. Then we can start on the other colour. Well, at least it's warm. Sitting there with this gigantic, chunky blanket. I have to say, though, I really love this yarn. It's beautiful. I'm quite jealous of the fact that you get that across the pond and we don't. It's the Premier Puzzle, if you haven't seen me, my earlier showing, but it is absolutely lovely and it is irritating. That's the only thing. Hi, Wink. An icy happy sunrise from the North Texas this morning. Day 4 of your ice storm, and your chickens are still like, oh, I hope they all make it. Hi, Kathy. I don't think I've missed anyone else. First time live with me, Wink. Is it really? I know I've seen you on like Wink before, but I didn't know if you'd made my live stream. I used to do a lot of live streams back in the day. There was just kind of me mostly and Granny D, and occasionally someone else like Kelly might pop on or something, but there weren't that many doing it, and I used to do a lot. Sometimes I'd go on after Dee, sometimes Dee would kind of go on after me, and we'd do kind of like raids and stuff. And Jan Carruthers, she does used to do some sort of late night ones. So sometimes it would go Granny D, me, Jan, and things like that. But there weren't that many people really doing them then. But after a fashion, it got to the stage where there was always somebody going on next or someone scheduled to do it, and my life changed from where Gary worked evenings and I was all alone, nothing to do in the evening but watch TV and dwell on the fact that I was on my own in a house that made lots of noises. And he changed his working hours. So I kind of didn't do them anymore in the evenings. So I've been occasionally ones in the afternoon sort of thing. Hang on a moment, I've just got an end. I need to get that end up there so that I can work on it. So let's do it this way. How on earth did that happen? I always work my ends. Work over my ends. But that one is a new one, so I obviously didn't. I don't know how I'm going to do that then. I do. Let's just talk amongst yourselves for a sec while I fill this through. I recently did a video on how I work my ends. You know, how I never sew them. God forbid having to sew an end in. I'm not the best person for, you know, having to sew in lots of ends. So I always find a way to work my ends in. And some of them, and people kept saying, oh, would you show us how you work your ends in? And so in the end, I did it. I did a video on how I kind of work through my ends. I said, sorry if it's confusing, but this is what I do. And it always works for me. I never get ends poke out, you know. When I used to sew them in, even if I went through and went back and forwards, I always ended up with an end here and there coming out, no matter how kind of thorough I was. But since I do it my way, it doesn't happen. So yeah, if you haven't already seen that video, it is quite it's not that confusing. But there are several ways I do it. Um, yeah, it's worth a watch. Right, let's have a look at what I've missed. I feel like fluff's going up my nose here. Good morning, Mary. Welcome. Don't forget the thummy. And I've got 2 Marys now. You do a magic knot when you change colours. You only tell us the beginning or end. That's cool. I've never known it. I know. Hello, Marcia. Hang on, I've missed some people. Dina Van D. Hello. Oh, right, where am I? So yeah, good morning to you. Oh, wow. Lots. You've been on a kick of making ear warmers and fingerless glove sets. Getting so good you can make 2 sets a day during an ice storm and save all your ends to weave in at one go. That's cool. I work mine in as I go. I've actually got a few sets of fingerless gloves on with my own stitch, the Crochet Rock Stitch. Sometimes if I talk too quick, the scar tissue doesn't let me talk. It kind of ties my mouth together. You just learned how to do the magic knot. Well, I always see. I've seen it done. I've never really. I'm going to have to tie my hair back. It's driving me a bit bananas right now. I've seen it obviously, but I've never done it, and I always worry that it will come undone or that it won't work. I know that so many people do it. It must do. It's very strong, and you love it, and you hate dealing with ends. Lolly, hi, woo woo. Got the thummy. That's good. So if I've missed anyone's comment while I've been crocheting and not noticed it, I do apologise, but it's difficult to see them all when you're... I look bald now. Oh, I won't look at myself anymore. Anywho, where were... Oh, sausages. Sorry if I say anyhow or any such like stupid word like that. I say sausages now because I don't like saying them. It annoys me. I want to get out of the habit. It's funny how it's very easy to get stuck on a word. When I was young, I got stuck on the word actually. I used to say actually a lot. And Gemma, she has, what does she say? She has a word. Literally. She says literally all the time. And for me, it was actually. And what actually made it worse was one day I said actually 3 times in a sentence. I started actually, and then I said something actually, and it's finished with the word actually. And I thought, oh, I'm getting rid of that word out of my day. Alison, woo woo, hello. Alison was my very first ever customer in my shop, Hobby Rocks, which, as I said earlier, was www.hobbyrocks.co.uk. And I was working on this shop with my web guy, Chris. We're getting it ready. And one day we were looking at something as a little teaching me thing. And we noticed that there was an order there that we didn't recognise. Thankfully, it wasn't sitting there a long while. You know, it's only just. Oh my God, I've got an order. So it kind of inspired us to get it done quicker. And that's it. It never looked back from that moment. Yeah. So, hello, how are you? What are you up to? Apart from watching me, of course. How's the blanket going? Well, okay. It's actually quite big. Oh, did I say I was used to say actually? Now it's come back. So it's this is the short. No, it's because it's a rectangle. You've got a long end and a short end. Now this is the short end. Okay, and this is the long end. So it is a good old size, but Gary wanted it even bigger. He wants it to cover us both over while we sit and watch TV in the evening if it's cold. And he wants, not only does it, he wants it to cover us, he wants it from our feet to under his chin. So I'm going to carry on until the yarn runs out. That's how big it'll be. I haven't got a plan other than the yarn will run out. That's it. And I've got another 3 balls after this one. So I've got 4 balls of that. And I don't suppose it will get massive because it takes a lot to go around it now. I don't want to get rid of you. So yeah, that's that was the back. Obviously, this is the front. I missed one just as I put it down. Oh, I like it. I love a good name, you know, a family name, a clan. Love a clan. My sister-in-law was a McGuinness. When she got married to my brother, I'm not sure if they did, but there was talk of them wearing the McGuinness kilts, or what her kind of kilts. I think some of the family did. I was young. I can't really remember that well, the whole wedding. But my brother didn't wear a kilt. You know, he was from North London. That's as far north as he was from. But yeah. They went up to visit family, and they ended up moving up there at one point and lived what was it called? It was near Inverness. The name, is it Leith? Near Inverness. And Leith or Keith? I think it was Leith. Might be Keith. Anyway, my brother was a butcher by trade, and they started looking into various jobs, and he was offered to work on Orkney as a butcher because they needed one. But it was you could only access the road at certain times of the year. The rest of the time it was by boat, and you know, he thought that was just a little bit too kind of remote for the kids and for everything. So he didn't do it, but they really kind of offered him quite a lot to do it. Just checking anyone else might have come in. Oh, it's going to take me forever. This is. It might not actually. You know, like I say, I don't think once I start, it gets bigger and bigger. It will take more and more yarn to get around, and I don't think it. Well, in the beginning, a couple of balls made quite a big rectangle, but probably won't now. So there is, when this video goes to replay, I'll put a link for that blanket. I'll point up like this, and you'll see a link appear for it. Or I will just put a link at the end. But there is a left-handed. Each of my tutorials, unless it's a really old one I haven't got round to doing it, has a left and a right-handed version. And whoopsie, I nearly pulled my light down. That cut right well, and I said it didn't. Oh well. So yeah, each of them has a right and left-handed version. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and they link to each other. That's what I was going to say. See how big this ball is. It really does look black, doesn't it? But it isn't. It's like called Oxford blue, because Oxford School has a very, very dark blue. This is gigantic. Gigantic it is. And it's got a pattern on the other side. I think it's for this blanket. It's a bit, is that a ripple? Looks like a ripple blanket. Okay, so gigantic bald. Right. Loads of yarn fell off anyway. Hook. Right, and I like to join it at a different corner from the one I finished on. Where? Could do that one, I suppose. yeah, I like to finish on a different one because then I've only got one end at a time to fiddle with. And I start at the corner and I do half a corner so that it's seamless join, which is not a bad thing. Whoopsie. I'll have a little look at the chat in a minute and see what I've missed. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to choose my giveaway winner. I know some people, they put a word in, don't they? And then they choose it from a point to another point, and I don't know what they use to do that with. I haven't got a Scooby of an idea about that. So I don't know. Don't know how to choose it. My winner. What do you guys suggest? How would you sort of imagine, other than something that's really complicated, that I do it? I suppose I could do random comment picker, couldn't I? Oh, I don't know. Okay. So it's gone to the darker. I like it when they've got some beautiful colours that change in this yarn. I like the way they all kind of, you know, randomise. They're beautiful. Right, let's have a quick look. Part of the Happy Hooker clan. A ripple blanket is on your list of future projects. Just started back to crochet after a few months ago. They are gorgeous, aren't they? It looks black, but it's really, really, really dark navy. Although it looks so black. It's very, if it's really midnight without any lights on. That's what it is. But it actually, the label did say Oxford blue. It's got this, I'd say it's the colour of Elvis's hair, because he always had bluey dark hair, I think. But yeah, it's supposed to be blue, but it isn't. I could have chosen a more bluey blue, but I happen to have that going begging, so I figured I'll just use it. Yeah, so if you can think of any way to do this prize, then let me know. This is the working on this row. This is the one that's going to play havoc with my nose, because this is the yarn that's fluffy. Oh. What's that? Give you a word to say, and those that want to take part, just say the word in the chat. Just one per person. Then you could count how many take part and get Siri to choose a number. Oh, okay. That's cool. Working on a snowflake Afghan, joining the squares, and then candy cane border. That's cool. Did you see? I did a snowflake square. Let's see if I can find it. I really loved it. I was going to make a blanket, but then I got ill, and it stopped me. I can't show you. I might be able to show you my pictures, actually, to be honest. Let's see. Maybe. Let me just see if I can. I might close the chat. I might not. I might have it on 20 million, billion, trillion photographs on here. This was my latest tutorial. It was not it was a chevron rather than a ripple, but it was a spike. And I did a right and a left-handed tutorial. That was up a few days ago now. Heavens above. How many? You know when you get sent WhatsApp things, sometimes you just get the picture, don't you? And it just adds. Sometimes I manage to get rid of them and remember to get rid of them, and other times I just don't. There it is. Like this is that was my snowflake square. And that's up as a tutorial. Just the square, because I was going to do a blanket, like I said, but I never got round to doing it because I got that virus from from hell. Right, let's find the chat again. There we are. I'm back. Where am I? Working on a slogan. Random chat pick a tool on YouTube does it on live streams. Yeah, I'm not really up with that. Choose a word or phrase in all caps and put that word. It finds all entries. Tick the delete duplicates box and then tell it to choose. Oh, okay. Well, I could do that after or during, do you mean? Where's my hook? There. Let's get back on with blanket. It's supposed to be doing. It's not a massive prize, but there is going to be one giveaway a day, which is kind of cool. So I don't know whether to do it on the stream or on the comments after the stream. Give people, those people that normally watch the replay because they can't make my lives, able to do it as well. And if they watch the live stream, they'll know what word to use, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? But only if they've kind of watched the live stream. If they haven't watched the live stream, then they possibly wouldn't know what to do. Whew. It's really warm with this over you. It's kind of, I did put I've got a fire in here, and I keep it in the middle of the room so it's far away from all yarn and paper and everything. It's a tiny room, and it was bitterly cold in it because it's quite a draft in this little room. We've got to me and Gary, we have to do the side of the house. Once we've done that, then it will be less of a draft. But this room does get cold, and so I thought, oh, I'll shut the door, put the heater on. I never thought I'd be sitting here with this humongous blanket over me for a long time. Hang on. What have I conked out? No. Oh, there we go. For some reason, my own chat did. After would be nice. Okay. So yeah, I can do that then. What word should we have? Can we have or should I just pick a word, because otherwise there'll be duplicates of the word if you pick a word. We could just have one long word in capitals, Gary's blanket. Gary's blanket. GARYSBLANKET. Gary's blanket. How about that? That'll be our word. One big long word. That's cool. I know there's certain people who always, they can't make my lives, but they watch every one of the replays. Oh, this is a tedious round. Yay! There we go. You have a couple of requests for snowflake Afghans. Oh, that's cool. If they don't want them all the same. Well, see, after I was better, I thought it's too late now to make the snowflake Afghan for Christmas, but I could still do it. It's a winter thing rather than a Christmas, isn't it? So it doesn't necessarily have to be just for Christmas. But obviously I was trying to get the snowflake Afghan out for Christmas because of this, you know, it being a snowflake. That was one of the things that didn't get done because of the virus. There was so much, and I put on my kind of Santa long stocking hat, but there was going to be a proper long stocking hat, and didn't do that either because I was ill. I also was going to do a child's one. So much I was going to do. I did a few. I think I did a baby one. It's kind of a baby stroke toddler size. Yeah, everything kind of getting stuck. So big. Everything went a bit magoo because I was ill. So you know, I've got this. I should ring my doctor and tell him that I've had the MRI. They did ask me to ring them and let them know, but I'll do it tomorrow now. Can't be doing with trying to find the piece of paper they gave me. Should have it on the fridge though. Nearly at the end of the row. Side. Better word for it. Let's just check. Yeah, all caps. All caps. Does it matter if it's all caps? Is it that particular? Does it matter? But if I were you, if it is got to be all caps, I would remove that one that isn't and do it again, because otherwise you might have duplicate. But it wouldn't matter. It removed duplicates, but it'd leave one, wouldn't it? I don't know the intricacies of the random comment picker. Whoa, tedious round. At least the other one goes really quick. But you can get a bit of speed up with this one when you're not yammering away in the corner. Doesn't even count the lowercase ones. Oh, okay. It does matter. Cool. See, you know more than me. I haven't been doing live streams for so long. I don't even know how to work Nightbot. Seriously. Now, Ursula did try. She sent me a really long email all about Nightbot and how to get it done and what to do. And she helped Granny D sort hers out. And I thought, oh, yeah, cheers, thanks, I'll do that. And then I didn't really do any live streams for so long that I never did do it. I'm well behind the times. I used to be ahead of them. Like I said, it was just me, Dee, and a few others doing them, and I was ahead of the game. Now everybody's left me standing on the live stream front with the stuff. I don't do the panel though. I draw the line there. I'm not keen on that. Does Gary crochet? No. I said to him once, maybe I can teach you. Hi, Terry. And do it on camera. That would be a fun thing to do. And he's got hands like sausages for a start. And he just said, no. That was his reply. No. So yeah. I said, you could help me out and get stuff done for me. Like, no. He does the building work. I do the girly stuff to him, you know. It's a shame really, because he could finish this blanket. Never mind. You don't care for big panels? No, I don't. Used to be a gamer doing streams and modding for other gamers. Learned all those things early on. Then you're a very handy person to know, Wink. Hi to Arctic Wolves, been lurking. And you're off to bed. Don't forget to put in the word then. Don't forget to put in capital letters Gary's blanket. This Gary's blanket. Such an annoying blanket. The ball's moved over there as well, which is making it worse. It's just so big. Cumbersome. It's like the whole side has to move. And then you know, get tangled up in your own yarn. That didn't go in the right place. It's better. Hi. If I've missed anybody, do apologise. You're not doing lives on your channel. Just building up slowly, but once hubby's finished your yarn barn, you'll join other peeps' lives occasionally. Oh, cool. See now, oh, hi, Debbie. Nearly missed you. Oh, thank you. I'm doing a little giveaway. It's a giveaway a day, as the title suggests. And I'm doing these every day because it's my birthday in February the 16th. So I choose the whole month rather than just a day. So I did a giveaway yesterday first, which was for a mystery box from Hobby Rocks, which is www.hobbyrocks.co.uk, my little shop, which is worldwide. So that was the first giveaway of the month. This one's going to be a small one, and I did bring a little trinket in. It's going to be for this. So you have to put in the in capitals, Gary's blanket, all one word, and it's for a yarn ball tape measure, which are really popular in my shop. I sell millions of these, millions of them. They are well cool. I love them. They look like little yarn balls. So that's going to be the little one for today. But then, you know, I normally do one a week anyway, which will be a big one, and periodically they'll be bigger. But yeah, hi, Handmade Designs. Haven't seen you for a long time, HD. Have I missed anybody else? Oh yeah, so if you're going to want to take part in that, just in capital letters, put Gary's blanket. Just the once, in capitals though. And I've got to get the yarn, guys. Bear with me. I hope the back of my head doesn't look awful. It's photogenic. Probably not. Probably more photogenic than the front of my head. No, I've not missed anything. So there we go. I'm gonna get on, and oh, this is the row though. It just seems to take forever. It's all right when you get up a bit of speed, I suppose. I might have to do a drink in a minute though. Keep stopping, it doesn't help. I've never done a live stream where I've worked on it. It feels extremely alien to me to be sitting here doing this while I'm talking to you. But it does. And I have been on others. I remember I used to sit and watch Loretta crochet. I used to love watching Loretta crochet because she had this in my mind. In my mind, this is not the truth, but in my mind, she lived somewhere like in the Wild West. And I could picture her there in a rocking chair, working on something nice and leisurely, really cool, you know. That was what I pictured Loretta in my mind, just because she was so laid back. And she would just be working away, having a nice chat and conversation. It's like you were welcome at a house, you know. Absolutely loved sitting there while Loretta did her work and listening to her live stream. She probably didn't live anywhere near the Wild West. Sitting there in a rocking chair. There's probably nothing like that at all. But it seemed like that. And then, of course, Triple C does a bit of working online. So, yeah, I've seen that. Oh, thank you. Well, I always like to give myself a little bit of a kick up the bum. Hi, Sue. Thanks for coming. Don't forget the thumbs, guys, if you just come in. You got a tape like that. It's the only one she hasn't managed to break. I know what you mean. It is very, very durable. Hi, cast iron skillet, Granny. You can't do the multitasking. Well, it is hard. It's hard because I just feel like I need to. It's all right in a way. If I had my laptop open, I'd see the chat come in like I normally do. But every now and then I see words come up and I just kind of have a little glance at the phone. It does stop me from doing this though. But it was the only way that I was going to get this flaming blanket done, to be honest with you. And I've invested so much money in it and time already. It seems criminal not to get it done, really, doesn't it? And not only did Gary actually for once say, when are you going to finish my blanket? I had a few subscribers saying, is Gary's blanket finished? When are you going to get on with Gary's blanket? So I thought, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just sit and do it. But uh-oh. I'm kind of covering up my yarn again. It is difficult. Maybe if I can think of a better place to put my yarn so it doesn't travel and then it won't tangle, it might be simpler. It's so much easier on a smaller project, but this is gigantic. What have I missed? It is a very pretty blanket. It is nice. I do really love it. And I love this yarn. It is spectacular. I just love the way all these colours, all these blues, and it goes on to the light blue, and then this darker colour comes in. It's beautiful. I love it. I really do love the yarn. It's just such a big thing. And I don't know, this is the one of the biggest projects that I've done. And I see people who say, "Oh, I made a queen size blanket," and I think, wow, I've not really tackled that sort of thing. And don't get me wrong, as soon as I learnt to crochet when I was a very little girl with my mum, I was making cardigans and the beach covers, beach cover ups, and made myself a bikini and shawl and blankets and stuff like that. But I never tackled anything quite so big as like a big king queen size blanket. That's crazy, man. I couldn't do it. Hi, JJ. Thanks for coming. Don't forget the thumbie. Melissa. Missa, I mean. Sorry, not Melissa. Missa Pippin. It's 1 a.m. Quick hello. Oh, bless you. Thanks for coming. They start off small. They do. But this one, it grows quick because it is such a big thing. I'm sorry I got your name wrong. It's because I haven't got my glasses on. And it was a very small screen that I looked at. That's my excuse. I'll tell you what, those of you who are familiar with my other channel, Rocksteady, I do things on there like product reviews, unboxings, and I try out stuff. So I tried out Domatica, which was a retinol product. I'm still doing that one ongoing, but I don't do it as often. And the latest one that I've been trialing is ice globes. And I wanted to see if they worked because I wanted to see if they work on fine lines. I wanted to see if they make your face less puffy and your pores smaller and all those things that they say they do for beauty. But the main thing I wanted to see if they work for is it said that it helps with lymphatic drainage. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I had cancer operation. So on the 4th of August 2021, I had major surgery, and this area had from here all the way across had 49 lymph nodes removed. And so I had lymphoma at the beginning of it, which has thankfully gone down because I was hideous and looked like the elephant woman. So I'm really glad about that. But I do get a little bit of lymphoma, I guess you'd say here. Some of it is probably swelling from the like scarring underneath the skin, scar tissue, where they did do all the work. But I wanted to see if it worked on that because I notice when I have a virus or various times, then it gets quite more fluid and I get it it feels tight underneath my skin here and all the way down there. It does to a certain extent now because I haven't used the ice globes for a couple of days. I didn't get to do it yesterday because of the MRI and I forgot to put them in the freezer. So I didn't do it yesterday, but I haven't done it yet today, but I will. And that's what I'm kind of trialing it for. So if you haven't found Rocksteady, my other channel already, everything goes on there, and I've just done an unboxing today for a small plug-in mini low cost to run heater. Gary bought me two for the Yarna van. My little caravan has a name, thanks to Charlie. And he bought me two for that, and I opened one, used it, and then decided to do a little review on it. And it is a very low cost heater. So yeah, if you haven't found it already, then if one of my mods would be kind enough to maybe put a link up to Rocksteady, because I was really trying to get it up to 1,000. It's nearly there, just needs that last little push to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's just that last little push. But I do out and abouts, so I haven't done any for a little while. I was thinking I could have done one today, but I don't have my car. Gary's car's in the shop, so he has mine. But yeah, I do like beach walks and out and abouts in the area, and everything that we film out and about wherever we are. Battle of Britain air show, whatever. Scam alerts, go over there, unboxings and trials and all that thing. So it's kind of a lifestyle channel, really. But I enjoy doing it, and a lot of people enjoy what I do on it. So I think that's pretty cool. But if you could, if you haven't already, if you wouldn't mind heading over there and subscribing for me, that I would really appreciate it. Maybe I should have, maybe what I should do is make what you've got to do to be part of the giveaway is to subscribe to Rocksteady. Hey, well, thank you very much, Karen. Bless you. Hi, Walton's Crochet. Anyone else I've missed? I didn't see you come in, Karen. Thank you very much. There it is. That's a link. If anybody could please subscribe to Rocksteady, I would appreciate it immensely. So, Karen, if you didn't see, to get into today's little giveaway, which is only a little yarn ball tape measure, you have to put in capital letters Gary's blanket. And what on earth happened there? Gary's blanket. Oh, I know what happened there. That's weird. Oh my goodness. I've not seen that happen before. Now, I have my phone that I use is an iPhone 12 Pro Max. This is it. I love it. It's a gigantic phone, and I absolutely love this thing. Just type it into the chat. Yeah, that's cool. All one word, capital letters, Gary's blanket. Oh, that's a point. Into the comments. It's got to be in the comments, hasn't it? If I'm going to incorporate those people who watch the replay. Yeah, it's got to be once it comes back. Put it in the comments. Well thought of there, Karen. Yeah. So where was I? I've forgotten. I was talking about. What was I saying? What was I saying, guys? You can tell me. All one word, yeah. Yeah, Gary's blanket. So you need to make sure. Hello, Julie. Woo woo. You need to make sure that you put Gary's blanket, all one word, capital letters, in the description. No, the chat box, comment section. Yeah, that's the one. What was I saying? Anyone reminded me yet? No, it just went out my head. Oh my God. How embarrassing am I? A thumb up. It's not reminding me what I was talking about. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I can't remember exactly what I was talking about. I stopped to show you this, didn't I? The yarn ball. What was I talking about? Hello, Christine. Welcome. Doing your first Crochet Rocks order. Woo woo. Gary's blanket. Okay, if you're writing Gary's blanket, it needs to be in, you know, when it comes back from replay, when it comes back and it's got a comment section underneath, you need to put it there, all one word, capital letters, because I don't know, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do another, yeah, put it in, oh, I don't know. If I put it in the chat, I've got to do it during the chat. And if otherwise, you've got to put it in the comments, and it won't pick it up in the chat. It'll only pick it up in the comments. Wouldn't it? Think so. Has anybody reminded me what the heck I was talking about? Out and abouts. Yeah. Oh yeah, that channel. And all those out and abouts and all that sort of stuff. And yeah. Was I? I thought I'd finished that and gone on to something else. Oh well. But yeah, maybe one of my little giveaways will be to be a subscriber to Rocksteady. Hey, what a brilliant idea. Whoa. I like this colour of the yarn. It's gone on to this kind of, it's starting to get onto the darker. So it's two-tone in the darker colours. And that's getting on to my favourite bit. I really like the dark bit. I love the way it contrasts and just changes. Really love the yarn. I could do, yeah. I could do some on there, couldn't I? I could say my next giveaway will be over on Rocksteady. But don't know if everybody would see it. Where's my, I've lost my end, guys. There it is. Yeah, so it's getting to the part that I really like, and I really wish we could get Premier Puzzle yarn over here. Beautiful yarn. But it's very expensive for me to buy. This, I think it was, I was really lucky to get hold of it. Because when Creative Grandma first sent it to me, she sent me this and some Muir Woods, and I loved that. She sent me a few balls of that, and I made some fingerless gloves with it, and I still wear them today. I love those gloves. And I bought some more to actually make a scarf, a hat, and all that with it, and I never got around to it. So I've still got the yarn, but I'm kind of, it's one of those things when you've got a yarn that you really, really like, and you think, if I use it, I won't have it anymore, which is a bit silly, but it just sits there on the shelf looking gorgeous, and you adore it from afar. But I really ought to make it so that I've got the set to wear. They will wink, I know. What kind of alternative fibre is closest to merino? I love the feel, but you have a wool allergy. Well, it really kind of depends. It's just the softness of merino, isn't it? And there are plenty of acrylic yarns that are absolutely gorgeous and soft. And it depends what you're kind of looking for. The softest yarn that I've ever encountered for that kind of thing is Peter Pan. And I just recently did Yarn of the Week with Peter Pan and put it on special offer. It comes in a 50-gram ball, and it is the softest, the most beautiful soft yarn. But that's not to say, I mean, it's not overly expensive either. But if I know for a fact, I've used yarn from Wilko. They do it, it looks like a donut, and it is extremely soft. Not so many colours, and they don't always have it in, and that's the trouble. And if you go in there, you might only get 3, or you might get them and they never have it back for the longest time. But for die numbers, easy to get hold of, beautiful to work with, really, really soft. I'd say Peter Pan every time. I learnt to crochet using Peter Pan. Now, the Knitting Network, they started selling Emu, and what I believe they did was just bought the name, because it used to be a really lovely yarn when I was a kid. Like Peter Pan, there was Peter Pan, there was Emu, there was Hayfield, there was Sirdar. Oh, those are old brands. And Emu went under long, long ago, and they came back, and there was, along with Peter Pan, there's Wendy. Wendy do more adult yarns and with lots of wool in them now. But and Robin, those 3 were under the one umbrella. Well, they've been bought out by James C. Brett, so their yarns have remained perfectly soft, beautiful yarns. Well, the Emu yarn, I thought, oh wow, I'm going to get some of that, because you know I remember it from years ago. But again, they were 25-gram balls or 50-gram balls back then, and they were beautiful and soft. They are absolutely nothing whatsoever like that anymore. They are, I don't know, squeaky a little bit, and they split. And I was really, really disappointed with them. Really disappointed. These fibres are going up my nose, guys. Sorry about this. Hi, Denise. You love my neon sign? Oh, I got it from Mankind. Gary got it for me for Christmas. I saw it and he went, "Do you want one then?" And I went, "Yes." So he got it for me. Alpaca, yeah. Alpaca is lovely, and it is meant to be hypoallergenic. You're right. If you want to try a fibre, but yeah, alpaca yarn is lovely, nice and soft. It's meant to be that you can't be allergic to it. So, um, you're the same way. You won't have it anymore. Never tried Peter Pan. Wool allergy. Yeah, me too. This has smaller content. I'll probably end up with much rougher skin there than I. Let's find the specs. Oh, become specky four eyes. What we got? Let's have a look. Now, no, I think there is some wool content in this. Am I going to be able to see it? I've got an orange light behind my head. It's not really... Oh, here we go. No, 100% acrylic. 100% acrylic, which is brilliant. I think I just saw my order come in. Woo woo! Yes, it is 100% acrylic. Well, that's good. It does feel... It's really cleverly made. It's made to feel like there is a wool fibre. You can see it's quite fuzzy when I held it up. But yeah, I think if you want to steer clear of any natural fibres altogether, Peter Pan's your baby. But if you want to try alpaca, that is beautiful soft yarn. I've got a feeling I did have some really lovely alpaca from somewhere. Can't remember where. And I wasn't allergic to that. Your mother has a ball of yarn in a paper bag, no label. She wrote camel on the bag. Oh, wow. I was given some mohair yarn. I'm allergic to mohair. I can't use it. But it was natural. It was just like hair. It really was. But hardly spun at all. Couldn't use it. It was Gemma's granny's, but I just couldn't use it because I was badly allergic to mohair. Always have been. It just takes all the skin off my hands when I use it. When I was a child, I had such bad hands. My mum used to make me wear my gloves because she thought they were chilblains, and she would make sure you've got your gloves on. Well, it was the gloves causing it. I was allergic to the wool of the gloves, so she thought she was doing me a good thing and I had chilblains, but I actually had a wool allergy, or it might have been mohair. I don't know, but the fibre was the thing that was causing it. So she was making it worse. But yeah, people always used to say that you can't be allergic to a man-made fibre, which isn't true, because as a child I was allergic to nylon. It's not the same nylon now. It's a lot better, and I'm not allergic anymore. But when it first came out, really kind of rough nylon, I was terribly allergic to it. It's turning out awesome. Thank you, Denise. You're scared to try any of animal fibres. I understand. I do. Made some yarn from your own goats. Wow. Oh, wow. That's cool. That is really cool. I'd love to have a couple of alpacas out the back. Just, I love them so much. Well, alpacas and llamas, I just love. And there's lots of them around here. The various farms, and one of them, they kind of you kind of can go for a little walk with them, and you can pet them. But they are lovely. I absolutely love them, especially when they look like they've got dreadlocks. We had some not so far away that had they did look like they had dreadlocks on top of the head. They were so cute, beautiful. And when I say beautiful, they were like this. So they weren't really, but they still were. Just love them. Favourites. Need to find some llamas. I know. I've only got a stuffed llama, like a teddy that Gary bought me when we was away. But that's the only llama that I have. They keep the grass down, wouldn't they? Wouldn't have to get any lawnmowers. Well, I think I've broken our lawnmower, guys, because it used to live in the caravan along with other tools and stuff. And then when it was getting converted, I thought, there's no way I can keep working around these things, and they're just so big and there's nowhere else to put it. So I took it outside when I was in there, and then I used to bring it back inside once I'd finished. And one day I just totally forgot to put it back, and it rained big time on it. And I left it out for days and days because I just forgot about it. And so now I think that lawnmower is no more. It was a good one as well. It's a nice Bosch one. You never see them. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, must have been. I'd love to be able to do things like that though. Um, I often, you know, watch people doing their little spinning and stuff like that. I think how cool is that? And we went to one of the out and abouts we did. We went to Leeds Castle when they did the jousting, and they had a village set up. So you could see how the blacksmith um, was set up and what they did, and various other places. And one of them was the spinning, and making fabrics, things like that. It was really interesting how they used to do it. But then when you watch, say, something like Sadie and doing her spinning, it's lovely. But I wouldn't mind doing some dyeing. Um, I can't imagine me not making a complete and utter mess in the house. It's coming on. Look, I love that dark bit. How far have I got to go to get round? So yeah, that's you know, one thing I'd like to do. I was thinking of, if I did do dyeing and I became good enough at it, and it was colour fast and all that, I could actually sell my own yarn in my shop, which would be cool. But honestly, I don't know where the time would come from. I don't have a 9 to 5 job anymore. I never did a 9 to 5 job. I always did like rotas and worked 24 hours, 12-hour shifts on a 24-hour rota, that sort of thing. Always had crazy jobs with crazy hours. But how the heck I ever found time to do that, I'll never know. Because time just disappears on me now. It goes at a kind of crazy speed. How did I find time to work? Um, you taught of that family of grandkids to crochet. Well, hey, you're working on teaching sewing from a pattern now. Yarn from their goats would be great skill. Oh yeah, it would. Yeah, it stings. That's true. I can't really do that in the yarn van. We wouldn't want everybody's yarn and bits and pieces to stink. The other day I got some an order from Tulip because I was um running low on tulip hooks, and where did I put it? Up here. These gizmos, the tulip eye cord knitters, and a few other things. And so I had to put in a little order, but they only had 3. So I'll have to put in another one shortly. But yeah, well, the annoying thing is that a lot of places put up their prices, and it's just the cost of living and the fuel and everything, and people's wages, and with everything going up, everything just feeds each other. If one thing goes up, that has a knock-on effect on other things, and has a knock-on effect on other things. So but I did recently put that up, and got lots of other things I need to get. um Never worn out a knitting needle or a crochet hook. Well, I've worn out knitting needles. Thing is, I'm very fussy with knitting needles, and most people, they like Chalgu and Clover, and really kind of good brands. I have some Clover ones in my shop. They like them, the bamboo, the really good quality bamboo ones from them, and Chalgu. But for me, I like bog standard old school millwood with the dull points, because that is what I was taught on. And I bought some colourful ones. They were in here, but I've put them out in the yarn van now. And I thought they were lovely, and I ordered these pastel shade ones. They've got such sharp points on them that I can't really use them, because the way that I knit, I kind of hold it in my hands like this, and then it's like this one's held like a pen, and it gets inserted in. The yarn goes round, but it only goes round the end, and then it comes off and it goes in and goes round the end. So I don't put my needle right in, put my yarn round, and then pull it out. It goes kind of really fast like this, doing a row, and it works on the ends of the hook, the needle rather. Well, that's no good if it's a very long tapered point, because it's not the right size needle, and then everything's wrong. So I like my mum's old ones, which tend to get bent. That's the only reason they get worn out. They get bent. Well, this island has a lot of sheep. A lot of sheep. I used to call it the Isle of Sheep. This island was featured on a TV programme for the last couple of days. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the show Silent Witness, but it's, if you're from across the pond, it's basically a seriouser version of Bones. They're forensic pathologists, and they used the island, but they called it South Bay. You could see our bridge, and they filmed in people's houses at Minster Leys. They filmed at Sheerness. They filmed at Shellness, which is the other end of the island in the remote area, which is where all the places that I've done the walks on Rocksteady. And I did some out and abouts on here before, and a lot of those walks were those places that were featured. But there's been an outrage when it was aired that they changed the name of the Isle of Sheppey to South Bay. So the people kind of that are involved in the tourism for our area were up in arms and saying, a little while ago, Silent Witness filmed in Dartford, and they called it Dartford, didn't change the name of it. Why would they change the name of Sheppey and not allow people to say, oh, you know what? I liked that. I might visit that area and help with the tourism. So there's been a big hullabaloo over that, the fact that they changed the name to South Bay. But it's amazing, really, because there was a thing a couple of years ago where they filmed someone going off the bridge, like driving over the bridge, like. And then there's been, what film is it? I think Mission Impossible was filmed here, and a few other movies recently. And it's like this whole island has become more or less a film set. And yet they all changed the name. Years ago, there was this island was used in a film or a series, and they called it Cuckoo Island. They never call it the Isle of Sheppey because no one wants to be associated with the actual real Isle of Sheppey. This is going up my nose, guys. But yeah, there's tons of sheep. There are a few cows, but mostly it's all sheep. But now we're getting sheep and alpacas. But yeah, if any of you ever watched Silent Witness, the last storyline was here. Cool, huh? Well, it would have been if they'd called it what it was meant to be. I'm almost round. Can you believe it? Well, I don't think I am, actually. I've got a way to go. But I said I'd do a couple of rows per live stream. That would probably see me through. And then if I can keep doing this, we'll get it finished. Cool, eh? Have I missed anything? Christine Ashley loves my accent. Thank you very much. If you had a British accent, you wouldn't shut up. I don't. I like accents. I do. I used to sort of do a lot of different ones when I was a child. And I only said this the other day on my chat, that my friend and I used to sit for hours on the phone switching accents and say, right, okay, let's do up north now. And we'd do that for quite some time. And then one of us would say, Struth, mate, now we're going to be Australian. We just like sit there and do all these accents. And then we would get better at them, because some of them, like, I would say, let's do Irish. And, you know, and then we'd have to do that. And we weren't particularly good at it, but we would learn better Irish. Things you do when you're young. Things you do. Am I able to get a hold of a Tunisian hook set? I possibly can. At the moment, I've just got the Chalgu Tunisian double-ended with big long doodad, and I've just bought the Carry T, some of the Carry T Tunisian hooks, but I kind of didn't realise they didn't come with the cable, and they're interchangeable. But there are some Tunisian hook sets around. Next time I do an order, I will look for some. Um, I've got normal hook sets, but I haven't got any Tunisian ones, so I will have a little look for it. I've kind of just been building up my inventory as I can, kind of gradually. But I will look into that one. Absolutely. Well, I missed anything. Hi. Oh, Ollie Cat. Oh, Ollie Cat. Hi, welcome. And don't forget the thummy. Scottish accents make you swoon, hen. Well, on men, obviously. Swoon away. I used to have a friend from Scotland. We used to call each other hen all the time. Hello, hen. And all that sort of thing. Oh, she was fun. I had a friend who was from Wales. And if I was ever sitting with Sian, by the end of our conversation, my voice would start to bend towards the Welsh accent. And I couldn't help myself, because I pick them up so easily that I only have to be in that person's company talking to them for any length of time, and my own accent starts to twang to their accent. Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. And one day I was sitting there talking to Sian, and then there was my friend Jackie from Birmingham, and there was me, and it started off fine, and at the end my sentences were half Welsh and half from Birmingham. I was like, oh, this is getting ridiculous. Go home, please. I'm turning into this hybrid Welsh Brummie. But yeah, I don't know why. I think if I moved anywhere, then I would catch the accent very, very quickly. I was a bit concerned when we went to Vegas that I would come home with an accent. I didn't, thank goodness, but mostly because I didn't really get immersed in the accent, because, you know, we were all a big group. But yeah, I would lose my accent very quickly. In fact, I did, because I used to live in North London and I didn't speak like this. I do occasionally find some of the North London comes into my vocabulary, and it sticks out like a sore thumb when it does. And it's quite, ooh, did I really just say that? But when I was a child, it wasn't water, it was water. And, you know, I was kind of really kind of rough around the edges with my accent, because that's where I was born. But we moved here when I was 11, and so it got kind of washed out. I hear what I hear, and that's kind of what I say. And when my mother used to say, Tracy, it's not water, it's water. And I'd say, but I hear you say water. So I say water. But yeah, Adele came from the same place as me. So that was kind of, if you haven't heard Adele speak, that was how I used to talk because she came from the same area. But yeah, I don't anymore. A sign of an empathic personality. Could be. Hi, Tracy and Bam Bam, the crazy tortoise. Good morning, everyone. Love your name. I haven't missed anybody coming in. Hello. Don't forget the thummies. And just to let you know, there is a little giveaway in this chat. And to get into the giveaway, in the the comments section underneath, when it comes back from its processing, you have to write Gary's blanket, all one word in capital letters. Gary's blanket, Gary with one R, Gary's blanket, and that will get you into the drawer for the treading on the yarn now. Get you into the drawer to get this little yarn ball tape measure. It's well cute. And some of these things that you can get only have centimetres, but this has got centimetres and inches. So it's not just metric, it's metric and imperial. Get me being technical. Whoa. So yeah, I'm busy working on Gary's blanket. So that's what the giveaway is. Next giveaway will be to be a subscriber to Rocksteady. So if you haven't already, get in ahead of the game and subscribe to my channel Rocksteady, which is almost at 1,000. I'm really trying to get it there. And as soon as it's at 1,000, I'm going to do a live stream over there. And if it happens imminently, then I can do that and do a giveaway over there, which would be cool. Cool. And because I don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, it'd be very good odds to win. This is a very, very long round now. Not so much for the other round, the darker round, because you're only making this little framework and it goes quite quickly. But when you're doing the 4, doing this round, it's quite heavy going. So if I've missed anybody coming in because I'm working, I do apologise. And normally speaking, I sit there with my screen open and I can see who comes in and chat and everything else. But it is harder while I'm working on this blanket, and but it was my only way of getting it done. Finally getting Gary's blanket done. It's going to take me ages, I have to say. That will get us into your drawers. Into the drawer. Got to be in the drawers. Yeah, no apostrophe, just one word. No apostrophe, no capital, then small letters, just all capitals, all one word. But in the comments, once it comes back from being, thinged, for want of a better word. I don't know what they do. Processing. I don't know why they process it. I get it. Why it's just not there straight away. One of those odd YouTube quirky things. So yeah, it's a shame you can't see what I'm doing, because that would kind of be a little bit better than just me looking down. I can't really crochet up high. It's a bit weird, a bit alien. So how fast do you guys crochet? Are you pretty speedy? I mean, when I'm getting, if I'm talking, but if I'm sitting there and just watching TV or just getting something done, I can really get a bit of motoring going. The only problem with that is I get hyped up. The faster I crochet, I get a bit jazzed up, and then I can't. If I do that at night, I can't sleep because I've hyped myself up too quickly. Too much, and that sort of has a bit of a disastrous effect on my sleep. So yeah, nice leisurely crochet at night would be better. But if I get a bit of speed up, then it's not a good thing. But yeah, so how fast do you guys crochet? Are you whizzy? No, you do get ads in live streams. Only if you've got your 1,000 subscribers. I think I don't think if you do like one of those street, I don't have the right computer to do, well, I didn't do, to do live streaming um without having 1,000 subscribers. I had to wait until I got my 1,000 because I had a really, really, really old Mac and a Mac laptop, and that was what I had. And everything was kind of geared up to Windows computers, really, and the age of mine worked against it. But you have to get the live stream page up, and then you cut and paste a key in, like a little password, and then you could go live with the right software back in those days. And I tried, and boy, I made a complete and utter mess of that. My very first ever live stream, I spent 40 minutes with this thing on my lap, with it looking up my chin and nose, swearing and cussing, because all I had on the screen was a big error message, and I was trying to work it out. And then Gemma brought me a cup of tea up because her and Mike were downstairs watching TV. This was when I lived in my other house. And they brought me a cup of tea up, and she said, "Do you know you've been live for the last 40 minutes swearing your head off?" No. So I just deleted that one. I thought, okay, I'm not going to do it until I've got 1,000. But luckily, I got 1,000 subscribers really quickly. So it didn't kind of make a great deal of difference for long. But yeah, it was 40 minutes of me bashing the computer's keys and moaning and swearing and goodness knows what. Oh, the crazy tortoise. Oh my. I'm looking faster than you. Just got to go back a bit. AU Alley Cat. Worked in a small research and education at Auburn University. I might get you. You're a slow crocheter. Your average speed, Sarah. What do you call a mouse that swears all the time? I don't know. A cursor. Oh, wow. Well, like it. Your new granddaughter's name's Gemma. It's a lovely name. I like the name, Gemma. We call her Gem. Gem. Or Gemma. Yeah, she's not very well at the moment now, Gemma. She's got a bad throat, and she said it's just practically closed up, and she feels worse today. I was supposed to look after Tyler on Friday so they could go to a gig. And the gig is all the way in Southend, which is a little way across the water if you have a boat. But if you don't, it's hundreds of miles to go all the way practically to London, and then all the way along the coast the other side, Essex. And then you're kind of just over there, which is a bit of a shame. There is a ferry, but they don't work all day and all evening. They're kind of, just sort of a few sailings a day, and they finish around 6, which is no good. It's only good if you were staying there the night or something, and you could come home the next day. But I don't know if she's going to be well enough. See, normally speaking, if I'm just working myself, I can crochet faster than this, but I'm talking, so it's not really. It's more just a backgroundy thing that I'm crocheting in the background. But I can get quite fast. I don't tend to, because like I say, 'cause it really jazzes me up unless I've got to get something finished. Then I'm really kind of, oh, let's get this done. Or if I'm doing a tutorial and I need to get, and I say I'm going to pause it now and I'll get back with you, and I'll all the way to the end of that. That's the only other time that I get ahead of speed up. But yeah, this is a tedious thing because it's a 2-row repeat, and this row being the one that takes the longest time to get round. But I do like it. I'm going to really love this blanket when it's finished. Let's just check up on the chat. That's another reason it takes time. Let's keep stopping. Hi, Iman. Welcome. Guru. Don't forget Thummy. Anyone else who's coming off missed, welcome. I actually haven't made my drink, have I? I said I brought some water in. I thought just recently, a couple of times while I've been doing my vlog chats, I've dried up, just like that, but worse, while I'm chatting. So I thought I'd bring some water in. 9 times out of 10, you bring it in, you don't need it. I'm on a corner. Don't remember how many corners I've done, but it's time to move the whole blanket round. Oh, I'm nearly all the way round. Woo woo! Check me out. That's 2 rows. See what I mean? It takes forever. Now, I've got some yarn out. Got to go take care. It's all been lovely. It's good to see you. Don't forget to come back and put in the chat box underneath, you know, Gary's blanket in capital letters, all one word and no apostrophe, to be in the little giveaway. There will be bigger giveaways, you know, throughout the month. It's just that from doing a whole month of them, they can't all be big ones. Oh, I'd be poor. Getting there. Getting there. I'm getting quite uncomfortable actually, because I'm trying not to tread on the yarn. I do. Sometimes when I do a tutorial, I try to put the yarn in a washing basket so it doesn't roll around the floor. And you know, when you go, oh, I just need to pull out some yarn, guys, and you pull it all out, it drapes over the side, and then you end up treading on it. It's so annoying. So annoying. Right, I'm just going to get rid of an end in the way that I kind of showed you on my little video the other day, because people had asked me to show them what I do. So there was a little end that was kind of a bit pokey outy. So I've fiddled it in and now I'm working over it. And it will never pop out. I've been perfected these little working ends in over the years, because one thing I hate is sewing them. I do them occasionally, obviously. You have a cat insisting on sharing your coffee, probably from your lips. Oh my word. Now, that is odd. I used to have a cat that used to like to lick my face, but I guess that she just liked the saltiness of people's faces. Fluffy doesn't even like to be in the same room as people anymore. She's become the most boring cat. She just sits in the bathroom on the worktop in there. There's, say, a worktop. It's the place where the towels live, you know, the towel cupboard. She sits on the top of it and sleeps. And occasionally she'll wake up and meow at me, and then eat some food in the other room and come back. She doesn't even want to go out. She doesn't even attempt to sit on the windowsill anymore. But thankfully, she doesn't attempt to come in here either, because she, for the longest time, started going under here and she wouldn't come out, only to eat, and then she'd go back. And if anybody walked near her while she was eating, she would fly back in here. She's terrified of anything, especially the Hoover. But now it's the bathroom. But, you know, a little while ago, like back in the summer, she was going out, and I can't imagine her doing any of that anymore. It's really become, well, lazy and skittish. Hi, Wynette. Good to see you. I've not seen you for ages. From Crowborough. Watching live from Crowborough. Wow. Good to see you. So, for those of you who've just joined, there's a little giveaway attached to this big old blanket along. I've got to get the end of the yarn. Where is it? And when it comes back from being processed, where is the yarn? I want to tread on it. Heaven knows where it went. It seems to have got stuck on my boot. There we are. When it comes back from being processed, in the comment section, if you put one word Gary's blanket just once, then you'll be in the draw to, you know, the random comment, whatever, to win one of these little, they're inches on one side and centimeters on the other side, and they're shaped like a little yarn ball. Very cute. And they've got a little button, and they go up. So there, that's the little giveaway prize today. I'm doing a giveaway a day, as the title suggests, but they won't all be big ones. Yesterday's one was for a mystery box. I'm going to put a link at the end, once it's all finished processing, to that giveaway. But you'll find it on my channel. And this one is for that. So every day there'll be one. It might be on here, it might be on Rocksteady, it might be on my other channels. So if you haven't already subscribed to Rocksteady, then please do, because I'm almost at 1,000, and one of my giveaways will be, you need to be subscribed to Rocksteady, and I will do a live stream over there with a giveaway on it. Oh, nearly at the end of the row. I'm going to do 2 rows every time I do a live stream, and obviously each time I do them, it will take longer to get around. It will take longer. I don't know. How long have I been on, guys? Can you see? What does it say? The time that I've been on. Because if it's over an hour or an hour, I will get off and do another one another day. If it's not, I'll do the other row again. So I start off on the long row, which is very, very... Yeah, I made my 11k. Isn't that amazing? Chrissy and Pamela, hi. 111 minutes. Wow. So when you put the Gary's blanket, although you're putting it in this chat, it's got to be in the comments section once the video comes back. You know, when you're allowed to put comments, if you come back and put it in there, because the random picker won't pick it up from the chat, I don't think. I think it'll only pick it up from the comments when I do that, and then that way it will give people who watch the replay a chance to get in as well. Treading on the yarn. Wow, have I really been on that long? See, I don't get around this blanket that quick. It's so big. Still, at least I'll be getting it done, guys, eh? It's only been waiting over a year or year and a half to get finished. I can't remember when I started it. Obviously, when I did the tutorial, that'll be when I did it. I'll have to have a look and see how long it's been. It has been a while. Unfortunately, it was in a bag, and it was a bit too close to the cat and did get a little hairy, so I thought I would suffer more than I have today. I thought I'd be sneezing and all sorts, but obviously it wasn't too bad fluff wise. The yarn itself is fibery, although it is 100% acrylic. Quite surprising, really, because I did look at it and think it must have some wool content, and it didn't, quite amazingly. Oh, bless. Hi, Granny Draskins. Thank you very much. Hobbycraft. Whoa. Oh, Poundland. They put the prices up, though. That's the only thing about Poundland. They used to be really, really good value. They're not so much anymore. They're still reasonable price, but they're not one of the cheaper places to go now for those kind of yarns. But you know, you might find, and they don't always have, so the ones that you've seen over the time that you might really want, they might not have it in that particular one. sometimes you go in there and they just don't have much, and other times they've got quite a lot in of different ones, and then another time you'll go in and it'll be that, oh, they've got a sparkly one in there. I haven't had that for a long time. So it's really a bit hit and miss. They're not always got the right stock. Oh, I've got dry lips. Yes. I don't know if that MRI stuff had anything to do with that. The contrast that they put in. If you're whoever's leaving me, thank you for coming. Don't forget to come back and put the comment in the in the proper comment section once it's all had its stuff done to it. You know what I mean. Processed, I guess it is. Wow. I'm almost round, guys. Nearly. Well, I say that. I've got a little way to go. It's so big. But it is pretty. That's actually not even halfway. So it is getting big now. Where's my yarn? But I've only got that far to go to get to the end. Cool. Gary will be really pleased. He's been very patient. He's been really, really good about it. And Jane has been his cheerleader. She's been saying for ages, get that blanket done, get Gary's blanket done. And she'd be saying it in messages to me as well. And she'd been his advocate for ages for this blanket. And then she started calling herself Gary's cheerleader, and she would put, give me a G, give me an A. And then other people started doing the same thing. So, and then after a while, Gary said, when are you going to finish my blanket? Because there was a lot of people commenting. He said, oh, you're off. I was, well, I'll have to do it now. So yeah, it is a good thing. I'm going to try, once I've done this one, you know how I've got a whole bunch of whips that need finishing. So maybe once I've finished the Gary's blanket along, I might just do my whip along and get one out and try and get them done. Because it is a way of making me do it, isn't it? And I need to get them done. Wow, it's just so heavy. When it falls, it really pulls it down. Are you going, Julie? Thanks for coming in. Don't forget to put Gary's blanket in the comments once it's back from having its things done to it. Whatever they do. I think they just go through it and make sure there's no swear words in it. No cussing. I don't know. Make sure it's suitable. I don't know if that's all. And, you know, they kind of go through the chat, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you guys know. I don't know. Nearly there. Getting there. So I'm not sure if it's as good as a normal live stream that I do. People always say, I really enjoy your lives, but looking at the top of my head as I wiggle away with my hands may not be as exciting to everybody as my other live streams. Maybe if I get it to look down more, you'll see what I'm doing more. But this is just the first one. There'll be lots more. I've not even made a dent in the first ball, and I've got 4 of them. Wonder how big this will get in the end. Probably will turn into sort of a queen size blanket. The first one I've ever done that big. Really will. I've done some kind of I drop my stitches a lot when I'm talking. It really annoys me. I have done quite large blankets for the back of the sofa. Like when I was young, myself and my mum would make a big round blanket or a big square one or a big rectangle that goes on the back of the sofa, you know, that sort of thing, to cover up when she's cold. My mum was a real cold mortal. She was always cold. And we used to have a coal fire or a log fire, whichever we had at the time. And she would really build it up, and it would be like a furnace in the front room. Too hot for me to sit in there and be with them. but she would sit there with her woolies on as well, or a fleece, and a blanket over her lap with this fire right up to the top. And I mean, like, she'd say, "Come and sit in here with us." And I go, "I can't, because I can't take any more clothes off, and be decent. And it's too hot in there. Can't I used to breathe in, and the air would burn my nostrils. Just too hot for me. I don't like it when it's like that. Gary had it like that in the car the other day. I turned the heater off, and he said, "What are you doing? I'm cold." And I went, "It's burning my nose as I breathe in. It's that hot." What have I missed? I'm fabulous. Oh, bless you. I don't think I am, but thank you very much. So what are you watching lately? Anything good? Any box sets? When I sit in the evening on my own, I'm rerunning Game of Thrones just because it plays in the background while I do stuff. But I've got quite into it. It's been a while since I've seen it. I also watched Silent Witness, who dissed the island by calling it South Bay rather than what it is, but it was filmed here. So yeah, I watched that, and occasionally I'll catch up on one soap that I watch. But Gary and myself, we've been watching Happy Valley lately, because it's reruns for me. I was on the last season, but now he's watching it with me, so I've gone back to the start. But they were quite a while ago, so it's good to watch again. We've just watched Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher or John Wick? Jack Reacher. Let's get them mixed up. And I've got him now watching Dexter, which is on Paramount. Thanks, whoever it was who told me. But we've watched about 2 episodes of Dexter. I'm not sure that he likes it. I'm not convinced that he's into it. But yeah, that's what we're watching. I kind of watch more things than he does, really. So I'm done. I've got to my beginning.